Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I am Chavi Gupta, your online mentor. I have actually created quite a few guesstimate videos earlier, and in this particular video, I will talk about what are the numbers that you should sort of have memorized to ensure that you're performing great in a guesstimate interview. Now, previously, I have told you what are the basic approaches to solve guesstimates. I've also given you around 3 to 4 examples of different guesstimates. But in all of those, definitely there was this question that how do we really start? What is the first number that we have in mind? So that is what I'll talk about today. So first of all, going ahead and talking about the basic approach that I've talked about earlier, solving estimate includes some basic things like asking clarifying questions in the very start. So ask what exactly does the interviewer want you to estimate, what exactly are the things that you can assume, what are the things that you need to go deeper into, and so on. Try to devise a formula for the entire calculation. And this is something that I have shown in my previous examples of guesstimates. By the way, if you haven't seen them, all the links are there in description below and you should also see them on the screen. Definitely check out the different guesstimates. Try to solve the guesstimate along with, how I am solving that in the video. The third thing is identify an overall approach and explain it. Talk to the interviewer about the approach. Be mutually exclusive and collectively exhaustive at every single step. This is very important. This will ensure that you have structure in your guesstimate. And for sensitive numbers, confirm with your interviewer as soon as possible. Do a sanity check towards the end. Now we have already discussed this and I have an entire video around this basic approach. Again, the link is in description. Check that out. I will now move on to talk about what are the sensitive numbers that you assume, what are the numbers that you start with. So there are a few ways of starting a guesstimate solution. You start with either number of people. For example, if you say how many phone calls are made in a day, that you sort of start with number of people and then you go down to how many people have a phone and so on and so on. The second way is number of households. This could be, for example, if you're going about estimating what is the number of TVs in India, then you go by number of households. The third could be area, which could be something like what is the length of roads in a particular area, and for that you need to know the area. So we definitely need to know these few numbers. There are also ways to segment. When we go further in the guesstimate, we segment our population, households, area by something. That is generally urban or rural, by income segments, by age segments, by literacy rate, by even more, which could be a little rarer. So now I'll just take you through what are the exact numbers that will matter for you. And please feel free to take screenshots of the slides that I show you so that you can always memorize them and maybe write them down somewhere and so on. So some key numbers to keep in mind to start the guesstimate are population, area, average people per household. This just helps you to calculate the number of households. I've given you numbers for India and for the world, and you should also try to know this particular numbers for your own city as well. Okay, so just know this for your hometown, know this for the city you're interviewing in, and so on. Area generally will not be used as is, but it's good to know the overall area. It's more important to know the city area because that will be more useful for you. So just keep these numbers in mind. Also, as you might have seen that in brackets I'm trying to round the numbers. This is very important in a guesstimate because if you start a calculation with 7.7 billion people, then you will get stuck so much. If you have to say do 25% of that population, you will get stuck. But if you round it up and make it 8, then it might be easier for you. So keep these numbers in mind, but also keep in mind that you can very easily round up and just talk to the interviewer about it. Then there are some percentages that you should keep in mind. Well, the divide of urban and rural is important. In India, it is sort of fixed. In the world, it varies drastically. I doubt someone will ask you, these percentages for the world, but still good to know, good to just keep it in your mind. And also literacy rate in case that comes up at some time. Then now talking about the age segmentation. The age groups in India can sort of be divided like this. 0 to 15 is sort of till, teens. Then there are young adults, working population, and old age. So these are what the numbers are. Again, these can be a little bit up and down, and that is okay. You don't need to remember them as is, but it's a good range to remember. Another thing that you should remember, that in general, it is assumed to be okay to have a linear distribution of the age. So for example, if you assume that your population lives from 0 to 80 age, which is what is considered as the default, then you can just try to distribute the 100% into that. So there'll be 12.5% of population in each of the age brackets. So that sort of segmentation is also acceptable. But if you need to do like larger segmentation in terms of, okay, what is the working population, what is the youth, and so on, then this sort of segmentation generally helps you and gives you a more real idea about things. Moving on to income segmentation, this is again a little sensitive and there are no very clear numbers, but still I've taken a stab at it. Obviously we cannot do it for the world, but for India this is sort of what I used to assume. You can do like plus minus 5% and almost all of the different segments over here, and then go ahead with your calculation. This kind of segmentation, for example, can help you when you are estimating number of vehicles. So you will assume different number of vehicles for different segments of the population and so on. So that is where this type of segmentation helps you. These are the different types of segmentations that you should keep note of. I hope that this helped you. Just keep this sort of fact sheet with you. Try to revise it before any interview that you have. Again, I'll just end with a guesstimate question for all of you. I hope you have enjoyed the previous questions. The guesstimate question for today is the number of WhatsApp messages sent in India on a day. You can try to solve this question, mention your approach in the comments, and a lot of people might just try it out. Even in the previous videos, I had given one guesstimate question toward the end, and that, yeah, I saw a lot of amazing approaches over there. So that is it from me, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Do like, comment, subscribe, and share the video if you think it is useful, and turn on your notifications for more content. Thanks a lot. See you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.